Diamond in the back, sun rooftop, pig in the sea with a gangster
Man, you know, I just don't know what to say. You know, it's, you know, the more I try to get out of this game, the more I am pulled right back in. Black folks, we don't learn a god doggone thing. I'm trying not to curse as much. People say I'm a lot cuter when I don't curse. But anyway, hey you guys, this is Donovan Saadiq. Welcome to the Donovan Saadiq Show. The show that, you know, just tells it like it is. You guys can find me on the Dimitri K Show, and I'm also on Free Flow Fridays on YouTube, so check me out there. Big ups to Professor Black Truth, Yvette Carnell. She's been helming the reparations agenda for black people. And the Black Authority, you know, I listen to a lot of them. Also, Fly Nubian Queen on YouTube, and all the other black progressive channels out there. If you guys probably have already heard, Nina Turner, she was defeated by corporate Democrat money. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, because a lot of people don't understand that. You know, we don't learn a damn thing. We don't learn a damn thing. We keep voting for the same people with different faces. And it's just, it's just incredible to me. It's just incredible. Here's a woman, Shontel Brown, and I don't even live in Ohio, Shontel Brown, who basically ran on nothing. She promised nothing. She doesn't deal with the black agenda. And yet, this woman was able to get civil rights era Negroes to vote for her, and Republicans to vote for her to keep Nina Turner from getting that seat. Big money at the last minute came into that election, and she was able to do it. I mean, the Democratic corporate Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, Jim Crow Clyburn, all the Negroes came out and just poured it in there. And, you know, just like we love symbolism, we love taking pictures with these do-nothing niggas, and we think we've done something. We think we've done something, and it's just a shame. It's just a shame. But that goes to show you that elections can be bought. Notice that Democrats, there's problems in elections, and we got to get money out of politics. They're in power right now. What are they doing about money in politics? See, but people like me, we're the problem, because we bring up these questions, and we say, hey, wait a minute. If money in politics is such a problem, you have all the tools you need and all the apparatuses you need to write laws to fix it. Haven't done it yet. They just haven't done it yet. But I'm the problem. It's only a problem when it threatens their power. These people do not care about us, black folks. And I'm here to tell you, we have no allies. And that's just the damn truth. I'm sorry if you don't want to accept that. I'm sorry if, you think that I'm just dealing on hyperbole. I'm not. We have to wait for everything. Golly, it's been 60 years. How much longer are we supposed to wait? Asians get a bill just like that. Just like that. So anyway, I at this point, I really just don't know what to say anymore. We love to be oppressed. We are basically a permanent underclass. Now, people like myself, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. As a matter of fact, I'm heading to the Dominican Republic next month. So, I'll be doing some shows from over there and handling my business from over there. I haven't given up the fight. I haven't left. But it's just the idea, I'm one person. And the new black media, we're a couple of thousand of hundreds of thousands of millions. And we can only do so much. I mean, if I gave you the blueprint to say, if you want to be a millionaire, here's the blueprint. Just do exactly what's in this book, and you will live a better life. We won't do it. You want to know how I know that? You have a Bible. If you guys if you believe in that kind of stuff, you have a Quran. If you believe in that kind of stuff, you have all of these books of these major religions that tell you how to live a good life. How many of us adhere to it? Some people will say the Christian Bible was written specifically to subjugate people of color, especially black people. And if you look at some of these pastors, it makes sense to me. That would make sense to me. But yeah, it's pretty bad. But Miss Turner, I'm one of your biggest fans out there. I'm going to tell you this: I know how you feel to have big money beat you, because that's exactly what happened to me. The developer in my city, where the biggest FBI bribe in history took place. I mean, it took this man $3 million to beat me at a local election. Locally, this man invested over $3 million just to beat me. How can I, fight that kind of money? But this developer, who's still wreaking havoc in my city, is still controlling the city. And you still got these people who weren't here during the wars. I tell you guys about the WLC wars all the time. They weren't here, and they think this guy is just mine in heaven. 22,000 jobs never materialized. 22,000 jobs. Think about this, you guys that are listening to me across the nation and across the globe. 22,000 jobs at the risk of your health. What would you choose? You've got a $500,000, $400,000 home that is your dream home that you're working hard for, and yet there are major commercial trucks running up and down your street on a daily. Is it worth it? Is the 22,000 jobs worth that? Which doesn't make any sense to me, because if he wants to build this thing, why can't he go out and build it in the desert? Plenty of room out there. Plenty of room. I live in the city of Moreno Valley, California, next to Riverside, California, 60 miles outside of Los Angeles. Basically, what Los Angeles did was they're going to turn that area where the port is, and the port's still there, but where they had the warehouses near the ports, they moved them out here to the desert, which moves the diesel trucks out here. And then with the Panama Canal, the Nicaraguan Canal being built, and the Panama Canal being expanded, not that much cargo is going to come through to the West Coast as it used to come through. But when you have a Hispanic base of workers that come from specifically Mexico, this is how logistic works. It exploits its most vulnerable group of people, especially if the people are in the country illegally and will take any work that's given to them. But automation is changing a lot of that. So when that argument was brought up about 22,000 jobs, that never made sense when, you could look at your local Walmart and there's no cashiers there anymore. It's all automated. You're cashiering yourself out. And that automated cashier stand doesn't ask for time off. You don't have to pay it wages. Eventually, it's going to pay for itself. It works 24/7. More jobs gone. Times are a-changing, people. So I really want to talk about this eviction moratorium. If you guys see the caption on my thing, it's, I'm going to be talking about this eviction moratorium that Joe Biden said, I can't do it. Have you guys noticed, and we've been telling you guys this for years now, they pass the buck between each other saying what they can't do, right? So Joe Biden, and I said this a couple weeks ago, why would he wait till the last minute to say anything about the eviction moratorium? a month or 2 months ago, or about a little over a month ago, the Supreme Court ruled that the CDC did not have the legal authority to issue moratoriums. Okay? So what does that mean? And, I've been explaining this for weeks. And again, especially black people, we are so out of it. It's just amazing. And then we wonder why we get taken advantage of the way we do and we get treated the way we do, because we are not in the know. And we don't care to be in the know. All we care about is the next party, who's rapping on who's beefing with who. All we care about is the eyelashes, the fashion, the nails. And we're just living day to day. Doesn't matter if a 22-year-old girl is out there selling pussy for $30, but she's doing that. No kids, by the way. No children. But she's trying to maintain a lifestyle that she thinks she needs to maintain to impress who? So anyway, if you guys were paying attention on some of my social platforms, when Venice Beach was cleaned up, and rightly so, my question was, why did you let it get that bad? But Venice Beach removed the homeless, the final day for the homeless to move, at gunpoint was last week. And, the problem with that is, they said a third of them got housed and the housing is available for them, but you can't force people to go where they don't want to go. Some people just want to be outside. I mean, me personally, I went to SEER school. If you guys don't know what that is, that's survival, evasion, recovery, and extraction, or something like that. It stands for that thing. Basically, it's like, you go to POW class, you learn to survive, like Rambo, First Blood. Just think of Rambo, First Blood, basically. You could go out in the woods and you could eat this and you can just survive, right? So I went to SEER school. And the older I get and I look around in my home and things that I have, I realize I've built myself a prison. And I say that to say this. I can't take none of this shit with me. It can't go with me. I mean, yeah, I could have a few things thrown into my casket and maybe thrown in the hole and put the dirt on there and it's good to go. But I can't take my couch with me. I definitely can't take the TVs, the sound, things of value. That ain't going with me. We know the relatives are going to come in and sweep all that up and take what they think is valuable. You know what I mean? So I'm one of those people, really, if you gave me a tent, I would be content with that. Okay? And it wouldn't be, I'm not saying I would get one of those luxury tents and stuff like that, but I just want enough to where I could, have one that has a little shade room, when I can, and have a little sleep room. You know what I mean? And I could just be set up like that, and I'm good, right? So they forced these homeless off the beaches at gunpoint. The problem is now, where do those people go that didn't want to go into the hotels and didn't want to go into whatever housing that they so-called say that they have available? But, again, I was in LA, and one good thing down there that they did do for the veterans was, if you go to the VA centers down there's a big VA center in LA, and on the grounds, they let veterans that have benefits onto the property, and they could set up their tents on the property. I think they should do that nationwide. We have a debt to pay to these veterans. We want them to be safe. It's also another way for these veterans to get their treatment, those that need it, and utilize some of their benefits, and and get the help that they need, and especially the medical help. So I think it's a great thing that they did there. But, you can't put everybody there. So if you ever come to LA and you go down there, you're going to see a lot of veterans on the veterans' property in their tents doing what they do. But if you come to Venice, please come back down to California. It was a business move. The beaches are cleaned up. They made ordinances. I mean, they're cleaning the place up because LA had gotten to a point to where all of these people were just losing their homes based on, good portion of them, 2007, 2008, the housing crash caused a lot of problems. And a lot of black people don't realize that when the housing crash happened in 2007, 2008, you would say a good 23 to 25% of black wealth disappeared just like that because those homes that the blacks could not afford because of predatory lending was just gone right there. And we still haven't recovered. We're one of the few groups that have not recovered from 2008 housing recovery. So knowing that, you think that we would learn, but a lot of us didn't learn. And the reason I bring up the homeless issue is in LA County, there's estimated, and that's just that, I think it's a low estimate, 60,000 people are homeless in Los Angeles County. Of that 60,000, half of them are black. And they say across the nation, half of the homeless in this nation are black. How could that be when we're only 13 to 14% of the population? How can that be? Please, somebody, make it make sense to me. How can we be half of the homeless population, and we're only 13% of the overall population? See, but nobody's thinking about any of this stuff. But I think about it a lot because I see it everywhere I go. And I happen to know that we are basically out of time. For all of those people who, and I said this on my platform, if you haven't been on my platform, maybe you should go on my platform and see what I say sometimes. And I say these things to make people think. If weed is legal across the nation in most states, and they've criminalized being homeless, and let's say you are legal and they don't bother you, and they come into your encampment and they find weed in your encampment, is it legal to smoke weed in public? I don't know where you guys live. It's not legal here in California to smoke weed in public. So if you're homeless, you got some idiots that say, well, if they smoke it in their tent, it's okay. But if your tent is on public property, no, you don't own that property. So you're trespassing. So basically, I would think that they're criminalizing and they're setting up a whole generation of people to be criminalized one way or the other, be it homelessness, be it cannabis. And that's going to be their excuse to keep fueling the prison industrial complex. But I'm paranoid. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to this guy. He's paranoid. No, I'm asking, I think, very legitimate questions. Very legitimate questions. So this eviction moratorium happened, right? The Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. Basically what the Supreme Court was telling Congress is you have to make a law. You have to make a law. The CDC doesn't have the legal authority to do it. Congress knew this. I knew it. How do I know it? These guys are privy to top secret information that is for national security. And you mean to tell me they didn't know that? And yet, at the final hour, they all knew this. The CBC, the Congressional Black Talkers, they left. They went on vacation. They didn't give a damn. They went straight on vacation, knowing that the eviction moratorium was up. Now, my question to you guys is, why do you keep voting these people back in office when they're showing you who they work for? Do you think that was by design? Do you think that they just forgot? Oops. But my point by me bringing this up and saying this is this. Joe Biden waits till Thursday, the 2 days before the moratorium is up, and he says there's nothing he can do. Congress needs to get on it. Then Nancy Pelosi says, no, nothing we can do. You need to do it. Do you see what I'm saying? They're always saying what they can do, right? So remember, Joe Biden said I can't write executive orders, so you black people don't get too happy about me doing any executive orders. I can't do it. It's not in the Constitution. What did he do for Asians? What did he do for LGBTs? What did he do for illegals? Shall I go on? All of that stuff was done by executive order. Then the Asians finally got their bill, their legalized bill. You know, unilaterally, overwhelmingly voted by both sides. Black people, we can't even get a study. But Joe Biden on that Thursday said he's nothing he can do. His hands are tied. It's a legal question. It's a constitutional question. Of course it's a constitutional question. So is DACA. They've been debating DACA in the courts since Obama did it by executive action. They've been debating the ACA, Obamacare, since it was done. And it was done through legislation. I can't do anything. So Cori Bush grandstands, and, you know, it was all political theater. So Cori Bush, AOC was out there. I think that one brother from New York, he was out there. He had a few, you know, these people that were out there. Cori Bush had formerly been homeless, so she knows what it's about. But god dang, Cori Bush, if you knew what it's about, why weren't you ringing the alarm for the whole month that the work wasn't getting done? You know, but she knows how to highlight it at the last minute. So, after shaming Joe Biden, and Joe Biden was pissed. He was pissed. After shaming Joe Biden, excuse me. Gotta hate when my air is very dry out here. After shaming Joe Biden, who was pissed, what did he do? He issued an executive order to extend the moratorium 60 days. I thought he couldn't do that. Do you see what I'm saying? My compadre Dimitri K always says, and I would never think about this, that black people have a problem with an appeal to authority. We figure that if you're white, what you're saying is right. Your ice cube is colder than this ice cube, right? So we have a problem with an appeal to authority. Joe Biden said he couldn't do anything. So you know what the Negroes did, especially the civil rights Negroes? Well, you know, there ain't nothing he can do. You know, he's trying, but there ain't nothing he can do. The Congress got to do it. And the Congress, and then the Republicans obstruct. They got all these excuses. He was shamed so badly because remember, 7 million people were going to be affected. And if it wasn't for the fact that some of those 7 million people were white, Joe Biden wouldn't have done shit to do anything about it. As long as it's black people and brown people, he don't give a damn because he's a Dixiecrat. And this is the goal. What I'm trying to tell you guys to wake up. The Democratic Party is no different than the Republican Party. Both parties, look at their actions, uphold white supremacy. And that's the damn truth. Show me where I'm lying. Joe Biden was shamed into doing something he told you and I he couldn't do by the law. But yet he did it. So he's breaking the law, according to him. But like I tell you guys, when the president does executive orders, those are laws. 3 equal branches of government. When Congress makes a law, it's a law. When the president issues executive orders, it's a law. When the Supreme Court issues their orders, it's a law. Any of those laws could be challenged by any of the branches. Any of them. The Supreme Court doesn't weigh in on a lot of things unless it has to do with the law. It has to do with the law. They don't weigh in on policy. When have you ever heard of the Supreme Court saying the policy of the United States and Israel is unconstitutional? They don't weigh in on policy. They can only weigh in on law. And it's so sad a lot of us do not understand how the law works. I'm not an expert, but I love history and I've taken law. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go back and study law and get a law degree just for the hell of it. Because I like it. I like to read. I like precedents. I like all those things. So please tell me, how many times are you guys going to fall for this banana in the tailpipe and this shell game that they keep playing on us? See, they don't deal with people like me or Nina Turner or these people who can't be fooled because we know what the game is about. And in some cases, the best thing to do is not to play. Go do your own thing. But we've got these people that are paid out here to mislead us and misguide us to where they don't want us to go. Joe Biden is pissed right now because, number one, he was shamed into doing it. And he did something that he said he had no power to do. Nancy Pelosi does the same thing. Why can't black people get a vote on reparations? Why can't we get a vote on a study? She could bring that to the floor anytime she wants. But our civil rights era people are just so content seeing black faces in places that don't do shit. And the reason why they're so content is they got theirs. They're not worried about it. They're not worried about it. You know, if anything, they're jealous for the fact that their day has come and gone. Because now you have younger kids, especially for the black civil rights men, they're mad because now all this interracial sex is available that was not accessible to them. And I'm not saying like they're raving sex fiends or anything like that. But how many stories do you hear of these pastors and these older black men getting involved in these trysts with these young girls? You hear it all the time. So either I'm paranoid and don't know what I'm talking about, or I'm right on the money. Stop appealing to authority. Joe Biden could write any executive order he wants to. And if, like I said, if it wasn't for the fact that white people were part of that 7 million people that would have been on the street, he wouldn't have given a damn. If it was just black people and brown people, he don't give a damn. Does he even have a plan right now for the black? Well, let's even go back. Right now, if 50% of all homeless people are black across the nation, what is Joe Biden and the Democrats' plan to address that issue? Where's the CBC? But you saw the CBC crying for those Mexicans. But you don't see no Mexicans crying for black people. I mean, am I lying? I'm not trying to make this a racial thing because you know what? The Mexicans, Hispanics, whatever you want to call it, they practice group economics that we taught them. Okay? We wrote the blueprint on how to do all that shit. Okay? They're going to be all right. Hispanics right now are living in multi-generational homes and buying up whole neighborhoods. You go to Compton right now, and some of these historically black hoods, you're going to find more Hispanics in there than you're going to find black people. There is a mass exodus of black people out of California. I am basically the last black person in my neighborhood. The last black person. And I'm not going nowhere because once I leave here, I could never come back. And most of these dumb black Negroes that sold their $1 million homes that Big Mama left them in South Central Los Angeles, Inglewood, Watts, Compton, and all the Carson and all those places, sold it for pennies on the dollar. Those are $1 million homes. but they did not have the education or the financial literacy to understand what they were sitting on. So they bought that home, they sold that home, and they go out to Texas to buy a home that costs in material about $80,000. And it falls apart within the first 5 years. And yet we don't have people in our community that have the skills to upkeep things like that, carpentry, road construction. We don't have the vocational skills anymore because we weren't taught it. And I know you got some civil rights era mugs listening to me right now. And they're going to say, yeah, you young folks don't want to learn nothing. Y'all don't know nothing. Well, but you're saying that. But think about it. Whose responsibility was it to teach us? Whose? It was your responsibility. So if you didn't teach us nothing, we can't learn nothing. Well, no, that ain't how it works. Y'all don't want to learn nothing. Y'all don't want to do nothing. No, I see it all the time. I saw it as a younger man. Girls getting pregnant. Well, now, baby, you go ahead. I'll take care of the grandkids. You go get your life together and all that other stuff. That's what you guys were doing. You were enabling Generation X not to raise our kids. And that ain't all of us, so let's don't go. I'm talking about that's a small group of us. We're not talking about all. That's a small group of us. But you guys know what I'm talking about. So that argument, oh, these young kids don't know nothing. Well, did you teach them anything? That's an indictment on you. When our children don't know anything, that's an indictment on the older generations. All of us. I'm 51 years old. I'm responsible. My mom is 70 years old. She's responsible. My grandfather's 97 years old. He's responsible. Those 3 generations of my family I just talked about are responsible if the younger kids don't know nothing. That's who's responsible, and their parents. So I don't want to hear all that. Y'all don't want to learn nothing. That's not true. You didn't teach nothing. Oh, you don't have to do that, baby. Grandma got that. Grandma gonna cook for you. Some of our young mothers, they don't know how to be mothers. They think being mothers is buying their kids everything while they're sitting on Section 8. Don't get me started, you people. Golly. It is not that hard. When are we going to start taking responsibility for our issues? I've told you guys, and I'm going to continue to tell you guys, nobody is coming to save us. Nobody wants to work with us. We are on our own out here. Steve Biko, the Enlightenment leader in South Africa, we are on our own. Do you guys realize what's going on in South Africa? We are on that exact path. Those people, apartheid ended almost 40 years ago. And there's no significant change in that country in regards to black and white. Now what's been happening? The black folks are so damn poor, they're just looting and just doing what they got to do. And you know what the white folks are doing and the affluent black people are doing? Arming themselves as vigilantes. There is almost no law anymore in South Africa. It's everybody for themselves. And the white people are coming together to protect their properties. Nobody's asking them, well, legally, can you do that? Where's the police? Where is this? No, they're saying, fuck all that. We're going to do it ourselves. What path do you think we're on? And I'm not saying go out and do that. That is not what I'm saying. I'm trying to point out if we do not get the right people into the places we need to do, we are already a permanent underclass, in my opinion. You just can't take a few Negroes and say, oh, yeah, we're going to be fine. Yeah, everything good. Yeah, you got 3, 4, Clyburn, everybody up there. I'm number 3. I'm the number 3 leader in the Democratic Party. I'm number 3. Negro, that just means when Nancy says, nigga, go get me some sugar, nigga. That's what that means. You ain't got no damn power. You think, does Jim Clyburn actually think he sits in office because white people vote for him? He represents one of the poorest districts in South Carolina, a red state. you might as well call him, and the way he acts, you might as well call him a Republican. Joe Manchin, that's a red state. He's all but a Republican, but in name. Dianne Feinstein, she's all but a Republican in name. But my point, my people, is this. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party don't give a damn about you. It is feasible that the Democratic Party still, till this very day, as their moniker and their motto said when they were formed, this is the party of the white man. And they're very subtle at how they do things. And it's amazing to me how Stockholm Syndrome, you can get the very people that you despise to vote for you and to vote for your agenda that is detriment to their livelihood and their lives. And the Democratic Party has mastered that. Instead of saying, again, our civil rights era folks, oh, well, everything good. Martin Luther King, I marched with King and everything was good. We were doing that. Martin Luther King, Martin Luther King. That's what they say all the time, right? But who was opposing Martin Luther King more so than anybody else during that time? Democrats, Dixiecrats, the hardcore South. And those Dixiecrats in 1972, under the Southern Strategy under Nixon, all of those states flipped to Republican. But that doesn't mean they didn't leave behind sympathetic Dixiecrats like Joe Biden. So now they're on both sides of the issue. Controlled opposition. They've put you in a position to where no matter how you vote in a democratic system of two major parties, there's more parties than two. These are just the two major parties that gang up on any other party, that you have to vote for either or. Either way you vote, black man, you don't get shit. That is why I am known as the recovering Democrat. And some of y'all out there, y'all need to get into recovery like me. Because you guys are sick. You are sick after seeing what has happened in 2008 up until what is happening right now. I just gave you the numbers. In 60 days, what good is that going to do? You got 60 days now. Do you think Congress is going to legislate a law? They've got 60 days to do it. Do you think they're going to legislate a law in 60 days that's going to be beneficial to people who are going to be evicted? No. They want those homes. All of you Negroes that are living in, the Seychelles, or not the Seychelles, that's in Africa. The Gulf Shores in Alabama, Mobile, and places in Atlanta, those really plush areas, and you haven't paid rent. How many of y'all how many people out there have rent for a year or a mortgage, a year's payment to give to your landlord in 60 days? If you have one, please email me, message me. I would love to talk to you. And if you do have that money, why didn't you pay your rent? I did a show on that last year. And I was telling people, if you could pay your rent, pay it. Pay it, pay it, pay it. So now they've got 60 days, which Joe Biden said he couldn't do. He couldn't do it, but he gave you 60 more days. What do you think you could do in 60 days? If you ain't got the money today, how is 60 days going to help you? Even if you take advantage of the, $460 billion they had for rent relief for landlords and renters and people that need the money, how long is it going to take you to go through the system? Because a lot of the states said there was so much people going to it, the systems crashed and all that other stuff. What are the chances that, your paperwork's going to get through. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. You guys, it's really bad out here, and I really feel bad. But I'm going to tell you, I will just be getting back from the Dominican Republic. I will be in Sosua area. I'll fly into Santo Domingo. I'm going to go all over there. I'm going to try to even go to Haiti and do a cross-border to Haiti so I can knock that out. But I'll just be getting back, returning just when the moratorium's about to end. But please look for my podcast and please look for my vodcast when I'm out there. When we're in Costa Rica, Dimitri and I, we did a live thing to show everybody we were there. And not to show everybody we were there, but just kind of do our show and let everybody know, it's about consistency. You got to do this consistency. Now, I'm more of a podcast person because like right now, my dog is sitting next to me. I'm watching TV. I'm talking to you guys. I'm sitting on my couch. I'm relaxed. I don't have to worry about how I look. I don't have to worry about lighting. I just like doing podcasts. And that was our bread and butter. And when Dimitri and I did it, we did the video as well as the podcast. And so you can kind of see us doing the podcast, which kind of helped. And we put the graphics and stuff like that. So, go to my YouTube channel and check it out. It's Donovan Saadiq. But I want to tell you guys, please do not forget to check me out on Free Flow Friday. And that's 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So we got that going. And what else? I'm on the Dimitri K Show on Sundays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we're on that as well. And it's just one thing after another. So you guys can see us on all kinds of things. And I'll jump on the podcast every now and then. But check me out on Facebook as well. Check me out on Facebook. I'm on there doing my thing. So, you guys definitely will not be missing me on there. So it's going to be one of those things. So, yeah, you guys, this is going to be pretty scary. It's going to be pretty scary. And, what do you say to people? What do you say to people at a point like this? It looks like this might be the end, you guys. This might be it. So, I'm Donovan Saadiq. You guys continue to stay in there, and we'll see you guys again next week. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys. Just good luck out there, you guys. Just good luck.